When I was in high school, I was in a desperate situation. I was living with my mother in a trailer. My mother had schizophrenia, and she was not able to hold a job. She never got a driver's license, and we were just trying to survive from week to week, and I was trying to raise myself, essentially. So it was a horrible situation, and I was in high school trying to survive high school. Now, I had so many things to try to do to keep myself going on the home, domestic front, that trying to deal with school was just overwhelming to me. I had no good study habits. I never went to a single social event in high school. I mean, I was just out of it. And one day in Spanish class, the Spanish teacher asked me to stand up and respond in Spanish to a question that she was asking me in Spanish. She asked me the question. I had no idea what she was saying. And I stood there. It was her technique to have students stand and then dialogue with her a little bit, and then comment upon how that went and maybe help people a little bit. Well, she wasn't going to help me much. I stood up. She asked me the question. I was dead silent. I was petrified, so nervous. I began to shake. I didn't know. I felt like I wanted to run from the classroom. And then she waited after I didn't respond for a while, and she looked at me, and she looked around the classroom at the other students, and then she said this. I'll never forget it. She said, Pedro, that was the name she had given me to use in the class, Pedro, what are we going to do with you? And I figured that was it, and she said, you may sit down now. Wow, the shame I felt. It was terrible. It was like my heart was ripped open in front of other people, to laugh at me, to see how unprepared I was, what a loser I was. Just terrible. I felt completely dishonored as a human being. Now, mind you, I am not saying this to criticize that teacher. That teacher had no idea what was going on in my home life. All that teacher knew was that I was not prepared that day like I was normally not prepared. In so many ways, even with my dress, I didn't have appropriate clothes to wear to school. You can imagine what that was like. So I am offering this story to you as a way of getting at what I consider to be the worst form of human communication, namely shaming other people, to shame them. It's not just criticism. It's deeper than criticism. It ends up being kind of communication that so devalues the other person that they feel like they have no value in the eyes of the person who is shaming them. They are a nothing, a nobody, of no value. It's terrifically debilitating. It's emotionally so difficult to be shamed. I was once on an airplane going to Europe, and I had the aisle seat. There were two people seated next to me, an older couple, and the guy was always shaming his wife in the conversation. At one point, she said, would you look up above and see if there's a blanket for me? And his response was, you're always cold. I am not going to look up there and see if there's a blanket for you. Oh, wow, I couldn't believe it. Shaming. I won't get into all the psychology behind what we do it. My point here is simply to say we should communicate the opposite of shaming. We should be building up people the best we can and giving people plenty of space to make mistakes, to be unprepared. Let me tell you how this event, plus others in my life growing up with a lot of shame, affected how I teach. The first day of class as a college teacher, I will say to the entire class, remember, first day, they don't know that much about me unless they've had me before, but I will say this to them. I want you all to know that I'm really honored that you are taking my class. And I also want you to know, each of you personally, that I will never make an evaluation of you as a human being based on your academic performance in my class. And then I tell them that story of what happened to me in Spanish class. And I say to them, You may have things going on in your life that are more important than my class. And if you need to attend to those, you do that. You don't have to tell me about them. I am not going to judge you if you're not doing the absolute best in the class performance. If you're doing the best you can under the circumstances that you're living, that's it. You are being a good person, living a good life. Man, the emails I get back from students after that, or text messages, fantastic, because we live in a culture of shaming. We all feel a little bit torn apart by those who shame us. So let's agree together, we will not be part of it. We will not be shamers. Thanks for watching. I'm Quentin Schultz. This is Communicate for Life, for flourishing. Please share this video with others who might be under the gun with those that are shaming them, or other people you think will be in some way built up with this, and post comments, questions down below. Subscribe to the channel if you would like. Thanks so much. Peace to you.